excited about being born again. Well, this year has been 10 years since I got saved, and I haven't always been the Christian I needed to be and who God wanted me to be, but He's caused me to see some things in my life. He's brought me through depression. He's brought me through suicidal attempts. He's brought me through bullying. He's brought me through fear. He's brought me through, I would just take about 20 pills at a time, and I think that I should be dead right now. So I give God praise. And brought me this far. And as I was reading the book of Jeremiah 1 the other day, I was thinking about how he was scared, and he told God, I can't speak. I am young. And it reminded me of myself, because at an early age, the enemy tried to plant fear into me. And so instead, God turned it around for good by me writing and doing my poetry. And I just want to encourage somebody today. I want to let you know that whatever you're going through, God is the answer. Don't walk after the flesh, walk after the spirit. And this spoken word that I'll be doing is entitled Unborn. And it talks about, if we're not careful, how we can get entrapped into the world's way of doing things. And that gives birth to sin. And when sin is born, that leads to death.
Come on.
So here it goes.
Amen.
I began to flirt with the world. But then I grew to like him. I was so caught up, and instead of abstaining, I chose to pursue a life with sin. You know how the story goes. I then became infatuated with this sinful nature, to the point where it felt natural. Next thing I know, I was expecting, and I didn't have to question it because I knew I didn't take the proper precautions to prevent it. I was beginning to grow ashamed, and it started to show, and the weight I gained from these burdens became too much for me to hold. The conviction grew every single day, and it hurt so bad that all I could do was fall on my knees and pray. So I did. They say that the trying of your faith produces patience. But I was tired of waiting. I was tired of the morning sickness. I was so sick and tired. But all of a sudden, my appetite for the world vanished. I no longer desired the taste of it. My feet were already swollen from walking in my will instead of leaning on His understanding. Now understand this. My back was hurting from so many times getting on my knees to say, I'm sorry, Lord, only to go back the next day and feed me and my flesh. You know how they say you're eating for two. That's 2 times I tried and 2 times I failed because the enemy wanted to sneak back in and cramp my thoughts. To the point where I became nauseous. All I could do was cry and throw up, so I threw up my hands and I cried out the name Jesus. Because He was the only one that could save me. I was reminded of how Jesus died for me. 2 hands were nailed to the cross so that I could live for eternity. And that's when I made a decision that would change my entire life. I decided to completely abort that life. So I killed that life inside. Well, it really wasn't life, because anything without Christ is really lifeless. I said it really wasn't life, because anything without Christ is really life with less. He is the strength of my life. He is my provider, the true Jehovah. And although I don't agree with real life abortions, this was the only murder that I knew God would stand for. So now I stand today with new life growing inside of me. And I know it shows, because this time I'm starting to have this extra glow, and it's called peace. God did say I'm the salt and the light, so I thank God for His life, because by His life and by His blood that was shed, I am able to stand against any pressure that tries to block this anointed vessel. There's no denying it. This is His life in me. I don't need DNA to prove or defend. You are the Father. Because this unborn has been born again.
Amen.